Hello everybody, Ryan here with another episode of Dark Souls 2. And today, we're still in post-commentary mode, because I'm an idiot. I thought about checking it to make sure nothing wronged, but I was just so hyped, and womp wah. Either way, let's go on ahead and ride this elevator and find out where we are, because we rode a boat to some random fortress off in the distance. I don't even know where we are. Well, I know where we are, but I, as the character in roleplay mode, do not know where I am. But I do know we're on a pretty long elevator. Not the longest. There is one elevator ride longer than this in the game, but we'll get to that later. Either way, you might have noticed on the way up there was a small hole in the wall. And if you didn't notice it, then that's okay, because you're not missing out on much. But it's definitely nice. It does contain one of the many scarcities in the game, that hole does. So, if this elevator can go any faster, people complain about the Mass Effect elevators. I mean, at least those were just masking loading times. These, I mean, maybe it is, but ultimately, we get a repair powder and a scimitar from them. Should be noted, I believe the scimitar has bleed on it, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's the Falchion has bleed on it in this game. I don't know, if I recall correctly, Dark Souls 1, the scimitar did not have bleed and Falchion did? I can't remember. I don't know. All I know is scimitar is a scimitar, and what's it called? The swordsman starts with it, and that one does not have bleed. Okay, there we go. Why was that so hard to say? Unless it does. I don't know. I've played the swordsman once, and I was very unimpressed. I mean, I do have a dual-wielding character now, but I started with the warrior, because his stats are just so much more apt for... Okay, bye. That poor corpse just walked off into the elevator. But anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, I start off with the warrior because that guy just his stats are better for dual wielding. Anyways, whatever. I'm complaining. That poor person in the prison cell has failed. I feel so sorry for them if they weren't a rotting corpse. Because, I mean, what's the point of this? Either way, over here we have a small skeleton who's holding a common fruit. Don't give up, skeleton! It's a little bit late for that, unfortunately. He's a skeleton, and he's dead. But, oh well. You know what? Not all skeletons have to die. You never know. Maybe he's just sleeping. We know. Ow! I didn't think the bonfire was bright enough, so I just decided to kind of do that. I don't know. What's life without blowing yourself up every now and then? That's a boring life. That's what I say. Regardless, we're going to go back to Majula and spend some of our souls. That, of course, we got from the Flexile Sentry. And meanwhile, I'm also going to go ahead and crunch some more of my souls. And we got Soul of a Proud Knight, which is pretty nice. That'll give it 2 of those. Will give us 4,000. 1,000 from that one. Look at me. I'm a professional streamer. I'm saying numbers, not streamer, caster. I'm saying numbers that go along with the game. Yay! Anyways, basically crunching all my souls. These last ones aren't even worth the time, but I figured do it anyway to clean up the inventory. Either way, here's the fading soul. You want to know how much this is worth? Boom. Big money, big money! 50 souls.
Is that a shard you found?
And apparently I have another shard that I still never turned in. I completely forgot about this shard when I was recording, and so yeah, that was a mistake. I also completely forgot about it in post too. I don't remember my Estus Flask shards, alright? They aren't on the edge of my memory for some odd reason. Regardless, we're going to try and crank the attunement up to 4 so I can try and, you know, basically get the most out of my spells. 4 is probably the highest we'll see my attunement go. I might... No, there's no reason to bring it up to 5, methinks. I still plan on using weapons every now and then. So, yeah, definitely 5 is a bit, or 4 is a bit, 4 is the highest we're gonna go. Because there's a ring that I'm going to be wearing that will acquire sometime in the soon future that will allow me to have 5 attunement slots anyway, so there we go. That should be all I'll need. Again, you never know, plans change. This is not a hard set build. I don't use hard set builds, those are boring. Yeah, then you'll be terrible at PvP, Ginger. God, I don't care. The only PvP I do is for crushing noobs who decide to try and ring the bells. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Some people don't even know what I'm talking about. Don't worry, you'll find out soon. Either way, I'm digging through here, and right here I should probably explain basically how magic weapon works, because it doesn't work like you'd expect. First things first is when casting a weapon buff from a chime or a catalyst or something like that, the level, like the what's it called? The scaling and the damage from it does not matter, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure. So, well, you can just grab a secondary catalyst to just cast it. It doesn't matter. Just keep its casting speed low, I guess. That's all that matters. Regardless, we're gonna over here and we're gonna try an aromatic ooze. Can't use that. Gold pine resin, can't use that either. Cause our fire, or our longsword is imbued with fire. But we can cheat with magic weapon. We now have a longsword that deals fire damage and magic. Should we know it, magic weapon, I'm like 90% certain is exactly the same as an aromatic ooze. Maybe a little bit lower on the timer, but yeah, that's... We can kind of cheat the system a little bit, and that is evil, and I love it. So yeah, we can get a longsword that deals physical damage, fire damage, and magic damage, so long as we can cast it. So that is very, very, very nice. Ooh, actually, I wonder, can you have magic weapon and fire weapon at the same time? Ooh, I might have to try that. Which would mean basically hell for me. Either way, though, I don't know. That's just a little thought. Welcome back to the Lost Bastille. There are two ways to go here, in case you haven't figured it out yet. The first way is, of course, via the pursuer. The second way is via this guy, or via this way. Either way, I'm gonna buff up my weapon, and we're gonna try and take on Mr. Haydnite here. And I'm going to take him on in the worst way possible. I'm gonna make so many mistakes in this fight, but it's okay, because I may or may not survive this fight. Oh boy. Yeah, here's the first mistake. I put away my buffed weapon, so now the buff is gone. Second mistake. Trying to cast a really bloody, slow spell against someone as erratic as the Haydnite. And yeah, guard broken. Thankfully, that spin attack was just out of range. And that was just a bad roll. Unfortunately, it's a pain in the butt with those spinning attacks, because if you try and roll to avoid them, well, things aren't going to go too swell. Either way, we're both one hit from death here, so I got to be real careful, because my death matters a little bit more than his does, because, you know. Either way, we have successfully slain the beast in what may just quite possibly be one of the worst Haydnite fights in history. But whatever, yeah. Soul Spear Barrage, it's really good at stun locking enemies, but that's really all it's good at. I mean, if you're at point blank, then it's basically a stun lock for a decent amount of damage, but that's definitely not a spell I plan on staying with for too long. Either way, doing a plunging attack on Mr. Mummy with the great machete over there. Poor guy doesn't even see it coming. And with that, he's instantly dead. We also got a Soul of a Nameless Soldier from the dog. I believe the dogs can drop human effigies, which is why I was so excited during the live commentary about that drop, and was immediately disappointed. Either way, I've been saying that way too much today. Either way, it's just like one of those transitions that you should never, ever do. You should never transition during commentary. It's bad. It shows weakness. But we're going to keep pressing through the Lost Bastille here regardless. There you go. That's a good transition. And in this iron casket over here, we have a treasure you don't want to miss. And I'm sure somebody has missed already. In here is an Estus Flesh Shard, as well as a Large Titanite Shard. Large Titanite, again, at this point doesn't matter. We've already unlocked Macduff. But you may or may not want that. Anyways, we're going to go over through this wall, because we have the key required for progression through this area. In here, we have some clown car soldiers. I believe we've already talked about these a little bit. If not, well, you'll find out why I call them clown car soldiers. Regardless, they deal a pretty decent chunk of damage with their great swords there. However, they also two-hand their great swords, so they can't block anything. In here, we have some jerkbag enemies, and I already screwed this up royally. Anyways, we're gonna kill them like that. There we go. Thrusting weapons in this area are a godsend, by the way. This area, you want a thrusting weapon. If you don't have one, you can get by, but trust me, they're a godsend. Again, you'll find out why later in this video. Because there's another point that is just, oh, I just remembered this part. No, I don't want to rewatch this. It's so bad. It's so bad. I should not die here. Why didn't I S this? Why didn't I do something? No, why did you two-hand it? You idiot. Alright, well, anyways, that's, what, death number 3 now? I'm editing the edits in post, after post, so excuse me, but yes, I believe that is death number 3 there. But thankfully, we had the Ring of Life protection, so I did not hollow, and I kept my souls on me. So basically, that death to the dog didn't even matter, outside of an arbitrary number that I'm sure somebody actually cares about, but whatever. Throwing it in there because why not? It's not that hard to edit in. Just copy and paste it from one video to the next and change the number. It's not that hard. Anyways, no, damn it, I did it again. Goodness, this is like bringing me back to the old days of my older LPs. Ugh, where I just said anyways. Right here, I'm like considering switching out Spell Barrage. I really should have, but I didn't. I mean, I was just thinking, what else would I put in there? Gee, I don't know, maybe Heavy Soul Arrow? Doesn't deal as much damage as Great Soul Arrow, and its casting speed is a bit slower, but it's more useful than friggin' Soul Spear Barrage, that's for damn sure. Either way, I don't know, we just... spells and stuff! We're talking about magic. We're gonna cast that magic weapon now, and we are gonna friggin' plunging attack this mummy again. 2.0, the Revengeing, this time, ya mine. Even though he was also mine last time. I was really hoping to hit the dog there in that secondary swing, but that was not a thing that happened. But in case you can't tell, there was actually stuff that interested me behind where the dog is horribly murdered in my face, and this time the door is open, so that's always nice. Gonna kill the clown car soldier, and this time we're gonna kill the dogs appropriately, hopefully. Generally, I try to... Oh, why am I doing this? I'm trying to be fancy with my spells, and I really, really shouldn't be. I don't know what was going through my mind. I guess I was trying to be flashy or some shit. That's all I can imagine right now, because this is some of the worst Dark Souls play I've ever seen in my life. Either way, that's done. We've taken care of most of the dogs. There's this one jerk over here, but he's dead now, so that's always nice. And over there, we see another contraption similar to the one in Majula. There's a rock over a well, and we're just going to go ahead and bop that with my wizard stick. Also a euphemism for something, but we're not going to talk about that for the sake of the children. And we have more of these jerkbags. Thankfully, they're weak to fire, so they die very quickly. And we barely managed to get this. It's not too important because the Wanderer set is the same stuff that the Swordsman starts with. And in stats-wise, it's not too good. But personally, I do think it looks a bit nicer than me good old-fashioned Sorcerer's Cloak. And it is a bit more effective, I'm pretty sure. So we're just going to go ahead and slap this thing on because it looks nice. I like it. The green tights beneath it is what makes it, if you ask me. Either way, we're in that and our knight set and the Varangian helm and the leather gauntlets. So we are really wearing everything right now. Backstabbing that friggin' clown car soldier over there. Royal Swordsman is their real name, but clown car soldiers is far more appropriate. As again, we'll find out later. Oh God! I was not expecting that. Yeah, these guys, I guess you can't tell, they have those low sweeps and sparks. Well, as we saw there, sparks are considered fire. So, if you, whether or not your weapon is fire or not, if you run your weapon along a wall nearby a barrel, that barrel will explode. So, yeah, I kinda got blew up a little bit there. But this was actually for the better, because that explosion caught me a wee bit off guard. Apparently, there's treasure back here. I didn't even know about that. I mean, I still didn't see it right there. Don't worry, I'll acquire it eventually, but you probably saw it out of the corner of your eye. That hole isn't normally there, but if you blow it open, apparently there's treasure back here that I never even knew about. As you can tell, welcome! We found it. No, I really need to get the mock gesture. That one's so good. Either way, in here we get the Archdrake robes and the Archdrake shield. Archdrake robes, of course, the cleric starts with, and they're actually pretty decent. I mean, not the best in the world, but well, actually, when it comes to starting equipment, it is the best armor you can start with. And over here's the Archdrake shield, which I've been seeing a lot of the shield in PvP not lately, but you know, back when I played it a lot, which was recently. But yeah, I saw a lot of it, but I never knew where it was, what it did, or anything about it, really. But there we go. Secrets of Lendau rituals are protected by the Archdrake, whatever. We'll be reading more about the Archdrakes later. I'll do it when we get more of their stuff. Because there's a particular helmet that has that exact same description that I am very interested in. And over here we have the Archdrake robes, which are decent. Again, it's the best armor you'll start off with any of your characters. And quite frankly, until you get the Drangleic mail, it is probably the best set you're going to get for a while. Also, the best set that, well, you know, doesn't look hideous as well, because, as you can see, the knight armor is a bit better as well. I don't know what I'm saying here. It's a good armor set is what I'm trying to say. Also, it's got a pretty friggin' sweet cape. That's the main thing here. Look at that cape. Look at that cape! I love this set. It looks so cool. Unfortunately, it also makes me fat roll, so we're going to have to stick with the Wanderer gear. But, yeah. There's your Archdrake stuff. And we got more of these guys. He's going to go for the stab, and I'm going to go for the butt stab. I'm going to fail, but that's okay, because slashes are still effective. Technically, it's not even a butt stab now. I don't... Stop doing that. I guess I wanted to demonstrate against one of them. Soul Spear Barrage, why am I using it? It's such a bad spell. I'm going through this, and don't worry, guys. Now I know how you feel when I do stupid things in my videos. The glories of post-commentary. I can feel your pain. In there, we found... What did we find again? The Bone Staff. Which, as you can see over here, it's got A scaling in Dark, but D in Magic, as opposed to the Magic Catalyst, or the Sorcerer's Staff, which has a C in Magic. Doesn't have any Dark scaling, but we don't plan on using Hexes anyway, so the Dark scaling doesn't matter, and C scaling is better than D scaling. Either way, properly trained Sorcerers will receive their first staff from their Fuck. Basically, it's a ramshackle staff that someone threw together because he didn't receive proper training. There you go. And in here we get the Parrying Dagger, which of course gives you, I believe, the most iframes, if not the second most, or maybe the same as the what's it called? The Target Shield, which we don't have yet. Why did I say that? Spoilers! You fool! And in here we get the Twin Blade, which is actually a very interesting weapon. Here we go. You might see slash thrust damage. The thrust is merely referring to the stat or the backstab and riposte animation. But 55 damage, pretty terrible. But it's moveset. Here we go. Let's show it off. Any day now. Yeah. There you go. As you can tell, it's a bit of a stun lock machine. You can get some serious, you can get some rapid hits in there with that. So the 55 damage isn't quite as bad as before. Also, if I recall correctly, it seems like it's been buffed, because if I recall correctly, back when I last tried out the Twin Blade, it only had 70 durability. Now it's got 150, so that thing got a little bit of a buff. It desperately needed that buff, because this weapon was just not viable in PvE before then. Thankfully, now it is. 150 durability will get you through, hopefully. If not, if it won't, then don't worry. We will be coming across a ring very, very soon that will help with that. But anyways, we go through that secret area, and guess what? We're back here. So yeah, that secret area is completely optional. There was a Pharaoh's Lockstone in there, but I didn't want to use it because I only had one. And I need at least one if I want to show off the a pretty fun area coming up soon. Fun is in the eye of the beholder. I can think of plenty of people who are very, very, very angry with that area. Soul Spear Barrage. Nope. Still not as effective as getting in close to my sword or using a soul arrow would have been. Oh well. Either way, I decided to finish him off with the Sorcerer's Staff because I'm a badass. And, of course, we're back here in McDuff's workshop. So, yeah, you go through there. You can get a bunch of optional items. However, again, with the Pharaoh's Lockstones, if you do use it, you'll reveal 2 additional treasures in there, neither of which really interests me too much. But you also reveal a shortcut that will let you skip an upcoming boss. So, if you're getting ruined by a particular boss that's coming up, well, don't worry. If you can actually skip that boss. It is, technically speaking, an optional boss, which is actually quite entertaining. Anyways, we're going to go back to Lenegrast and use all of our large Titanite shards to try and upgrade our Fire Longsword as much as possible. We do not have any chunks, unfortunately, so we can only get it up to +6. We will be remedying the Titanite chunk problem very, very shortly, however. So fret not, children. And, of course, we have another shard that we got from the Lost Bastille. That guy over there has a pretty cool mask, I gotta say. The shield, the mask, and the sword were all from the same set, if I'm not mistaken, over there. But anyways, we will be talking about... Damn, I did it again. We will be seeing that set until a long, long time into the game. I don't even plan on using that set. However, I do plan on using the counterpart set. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know, well, don't worry about it. We'll get there eventually. Alright, and we are going back to the Bastille. Because it's time to finally make some progress in this damn game. Contrary to what we have been doing, going around in circles, doing pincer attacks on one area, it's time for us to actually do work. So I hope you guys are excited. We're going to cast some heavy soul arrows. And that hopefully that barrel will not blow us up. Nope, the barrel will not even blow up. But this guy will die, which is always nice. Just kind of curls up against the wall there. Almost feel a bit sorry for the guy. Here comes the doggy. Oh. The miss. Oh, I missed too. And I left him with 1 HP remaining and his skull embedded in the wall. I did not see that before. Oh, the things you see in post. Whoops. I don't think we're ever going to get a second view on that, but maybe I'll go ahead and show it to you guys when we, you know, right now, basically. And we got Mummy Guy coming down the steps. Let's see if I can make him kill himself. I've done it so many times. This guy really likes to blow up that barrel. It does not look like he's going to do it this time, though. Because, again, bear in mind, he has some wide swings, and with that great machete, he'll oftentimes end up scraping against that wall. The sparks will ignite the barrel, and it will blow him up. And maybe even you, too. Over here, I can't recall whether or not I got this shard, so I just wanted to make sure. We did indeed get it. During our first run through of the Bastille, I can only assume. So I come up here and find out, oh, the Titanite shard's already been gotten. Well, don't I feel silly? I think in New Game Plus, that corpse actually holds 3 Titanite shards, so you're in New Game Plus, so it really doesn't matter, but hey, you never know. Maybe if you want to make a sudden weapon change in NG Plus. And in here, we see hell, basically. I'm going to two-hand my sword, because again, thrusting is huge here. I should have thrown down a sign that said try thrusting. This area is hell. If this is your first playthrough, you probably died here a lot. Oh, don't close that door. Bad man. We get a life gem from him, which is always nice. Again, we have basically an infinite supply from Valencia. But yeah, either way, just your first time in, just take it like 1 step down, aggro 2 of them, and then you gotta deal with these assholes, and that's all that remains. Again, thrusting is huge. If you don't have a thrusting weapon, if you're having a hard time, what I did my first playthrough was I used witching urns. Which, of course, if you don't have witching urns, you can buy fire bombs from Valencia. And I just used those. And, well, basically, he read my strategy and did the exact same thing as me. Scumbag. But, yeah. You can just basically just back off and throw firebombs at them as they slowly funnel out the door. You might be able to get a few double hits in there, and of course you're staying out of range, so it's less dangerous. Smashing him with my sorcerer's staff, because that's what the cool kids do. And of course, we made it through clown. That, by the way, is why I call them clown car soldiers. They just sort of funnel out of that room. If you walk in too far your first time, and you walk out, you're going to have 5 of them coming out of that door. And it's actually rather hilarious. Anyways, these guys, they have some interesting AI, as you can see. Oh god, it's the Chosen Undead! Run! Yeah, I don't know why, but for some odd reason, the AI of these guys seems to think that the fastest, that could have been bad. It actually wouldn't have been because that was a shield bash, but anyways. These guys, their AI says that when you pull the lever, the fastest way to get to you is by climbing down that ladder and running in a circle. However, once they climb down the ladder, they just get stuck here because they lose track of you. Like, they don't know where you are as soon as they get to that point in the ladder, so they just kind of stop. Definitely a small anomaly there. It's very silly. Either way, let's see these bloodstains and see how many people die from silliness. Not that guy, he just kind of walked off the edge, but maybe this guy. Come on. Hype, hype, hype. Impatience, impatience. No, not quite. I did see it once in my live stream, but do not roll! You may have seen me do it a few times through this LP. Roll while opening a door. Do not do that here, because you will fall off that ledge and you will die. Now, it may seem pointless, however, if we look carefully up above, that ledge up there is actually where that dog was. Like, you know, if you walk up from McDuff's workshop, there's the mummy guy, and then there's the ledge to the right with the dog on it. You can actually walk off that ledge into that door, and that actually proves as a shortcut to this area. So you don't have to deal with the clown car soldiers, which is really, really nice of a shortcut that basically nobody knows about because it's so scary. I'm sure some people even know about it, but it's such a scary jump, you know. People don't want to do it. And over here, we find Pilgrim Belclair. She is a sorcerer. A very, 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 very powerful sorcerer. Now, I said that I would only be summoning interesting NPCs and NPCs required for storylines. Now, Pilgrim Belclair, badassity is not necessarily interesting. The thing about these bosses is that they're actually weak to magic. And Pilgrim Belclair has an unlimited number of soul arrows that she can cast. So yeah, if you're having a hard time, just summon Pilgrim Belclair and she'll basically kick the boss's ass for you. She was one of the few summons before the NPC summon buff, so before the PC version, that actually was useful during the fight. Just pointing that out there. Needless to say, Pilgrim Claire is exceedingly helpful now. If you're having a hard time, just summon her. Hopefully, though, this boss, again, don't get, well, not again, just in general, do not get intimidated by the 3 health bars. You will never fight more than 2 of these at the same time, unless you're an idiot. And now I've offended, like, probably half my viewership. Alright, we killed Yahim, Ruined Sentinel Yahim. By the way, this is the boss that you can skip. Again, I'll demonstrate that once we get to the actual skip. But yeah, basically, you fight Yahim solo on this ledge, and after Yahim's dead, then Reese and Alessia will aggro on you. Alessia will come first. However, there is a small exception. If you hit Alessia or Reese during the Yahim fight with a ranged weapon or a soul arrow or something, or if Pilgrim... This is the one downside to Pilgrim Belclair, and whoa, that is a fast shield throw. Man, Reese is feeling real feisty today if she's throwing that shield already. But yes, if you hit Alessia or Reese during the fight with Yahim, then they will aggro on you. If you fall down into the main courtyard, Alessia and Reese will aggro on you, and you'll have all 3 of them on you. So just be careful to avoid those scenarios, because having 3 of them on you is not fun. It's doable, I don't doubt, but it's definitely not the optimal way to handle this fight. Oh god, that circle! Ugh, the helicopter attack. Just a pro tip, if you see them doing that helicopter attack, do not roll, just put up your shield and take it. If you roll, they will hit you. You have to do, I'm sure there's some fancy rolling technique you can do to avoid it, but if they roll, at least in my history, in my history, if you roll during that, they will hit you. So I'd say just put up your shield, it doesn't drain that much stamina anyway. And what else is there to talk about? The Skyward Strike that you saw them do, that strike that just sends them up into the air. Oh yeah, this one. There's 2 ways to deal with this one. One, you do not block it, and you have to roll it. I'm not sure if you can actually block that attack. I'd imagine it probably just straight up crushes you. So, you're probably going to want to roll that one. However, if you're close enough to one of these ledges, you can actually just walk backwards underneath one of the ledges, and, well, they won't be able to hit you. They jump too high. Oh, man, speaking of which, I have a really scary encounter with one of these jumps. I think we're actually coming up on it soon. Unfortunately, Alessia and Reese are really not playing nice right now. This is a fight, as with most, 2v1 fights, where you really have to kind of pick your attacks wisely. You have to wait until both of them are occupied, so, have to wait until both of them are not trying to kill you. Oh, here it is. Boom! I meant to roll, but I held down the B button a little bit too long, and I actually ended up sprinting, so if that did hit me, I don't even think I would have ended up avoiding, or ended up blocking that in general. That could have gone really badly if I was hit by that. Thankfully, I wasn't. That was very scary. That was like a wake-up call. Double helicopter. Very scary, but again, it doesn't drain that much stamina, so just seriously, take it on the shield. This is your local PSA from Ginger Dragon. And Reese is trying to freaking go up my flank. I don't like it. You dirty, dirty girl. Don't do that. I assume they're girl. I mean, Alessia and Reese sound like girl names, and Yahim, I could see having some feminine characteristics, Yahim, that's for certain. Come on, attack me in sequence at the same time, guys, please. Oh, we got a helicopter. And, oh, here we go, it's an opportunity. Strike. Thankfully, I'm actually being able to hit both of them with the same strike, which definitely decreases the time that this fight takes. Again, that might seem like a speedrunning strat, but then you recall that you can skip this fight, and actually speedruns don't even fight this guy. Again, we'll talk about it when we get there, but you technically don't even have to... So, okay, whatever, I'm not even going to say anything anymore right now, because now we're really going into the technical stuff that I don't even want to talk about. I was shield broken there. Bad idea. You never want to be guard broken in this game, but... I was, because I rolled a wee bit too late on the second one. There we go, now they're attacking me at the same time. So I strike, and Alessia's down. That was a little bit risky, because Reese would have been able to hit me, but I had enough HP to take it, quite frankly. If she did. And thankfully she didn't. And right here, I actually want to try something. This room is littered with invisible, or with illusory walls. And I wanted to see if you can actually, like, duck and cover in these. Unfortunately, it turns out that those are indeed fog-walled as well. Seriously, this room has so many illusory walls. You'll see when we get there. Skyward Strike, no thank you. This leaves Reese wide open and dead. Ruined Sentinel's done first try. Boo to the yeah. We get the Ruined Sentinel Soul, which I believe I actually forgot to read the description of. Forgive me, for I have sinned. And we're going to open up some illusory walls. That one that I opened up was empty, but this one holds a rusted coin, which of course increases your drop rate chance. And unfortunately, that one is not an illusory wall. That would be really, like, what would happen if you managed to get Reese? It's only Reese who throws her shield, by the way. Alessia will never do it. But yeah, I wonder what happened if you got Reese to throw her shield into an illusory wall. And there we get the target shield, by the way, so congratulations, the spoilers are no more about that parrying dagger earlier. And in here, we of course find a scroll. Spoiler alert, in this chest. It's a useless scroll, I think, but I don't know. I'm sure some PvPers found a use for it. Hush! It, of course, causes your footsteps to make zero noise whatsoever, which is always nice. And in here, we get 3 homeward bones, so it's worth it. Let's see if we can make this jump. Ah, not quite. I know for a fact that you can make the jump from that ledge. Come on, Ginger, please. From that ledge to that ledge. Like, I know for a fact you can make it from the one without the... Well, okay, whatever. From the one without the homeward bones to the one with the homeward bones. I'm not sure if you can make it the other way, though. Either way, in here, we find yet another bloody illusory wall. I missed! These guys have a very dangerous AoE attack that you want to be careful about, which is why I'm very scared of these guys. And we found a chest with some rouge water, which is part of the Too Good to Use club. I will never use it, ever. And where is it? Come on, it's top right. Come on, up. There it is. There we go. I got eyes on it. Restores HP and spell uses. That's it. Again, Too Good to Use club. I will never use that. Also, spell uses really don't need to be recharged in this game. This isn't like Demon Souls and that MP. This is Dark Souls, and you can use as many spells as you damn well please. I very rarely ever find myself running out of spells. Either way, that's going to be the end of this one. So be sure to like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time in which we take on a little bit of PvP. Farewell.